Do you think Ryan Garcia had a right to complain about the catch weight that he agreed to fighting Tank Davis? I was out in LA and I interviewed Joe Goose, and I just want you just to touch on that just very briefly. Tank fought him at a catch weight. A lot of Ryan Garcia fans feel as though if it wasn't for that and the rehydration, that Ryan Garcia would have beat Tank
I think it's
Davis.
soft.
Yeah.
I think that hydration is soft. Like I'm not about that, man. It was this fight wasn't even for a title, bro. This wasn't even for the IBF. That's what they do for the IBF title. You know that, right?
Right.
So the IBF title, you only can weigh 10 pounds over the weight class that morning up. That's what you do. Both fighters. So it wasn't even for a belt. And I'm not about that. If you already made the man squeeze down to 136, he ain't been there in 2.5 years or 2 years or so.
Mm.
You already made him squeeze down. Now you're gonna take that. Not only allow him to gain 10 pounds. For me being a fighter, me being who I am, bro, like that's soft in my book. But at the end of the day, Garcia signed on the contract, no ties on the dotted line. But that tells you about what Garcia was all about at the begin with. I mean, he was like he didn't care about the consent. He was like, yo, whatever it is, I want this fight because I know I'm gonna get paid.
Right,
And
yeah,
he fought that way
it
too.
was a cash out. Yeah, he was a cash out.
Oh,
Yeah, he just he
straight
just
up
he just
cash
he
out.
just wanted to cash out. He knew he wasn't going to win that fight. Um,
Yeah.
from a skill set standpoint, I want you to hear this question. This is a good one. From a skill set standpoint, a heart, determination, and ring IQ, which fighter is the best in your opinion at the 135 pounds lightweight division?
It's between two. It's between two fighters. It's between two fighters, and there's no disrespect to Haney because I think Haney is doesn't get a whole lot of credit. I think he's a tremendous fighter, but I just think that these guys are just better. It's between Tank and it's between Shakur Stevenson.
Tank and
Those two
Shakur
fighters
Stevenson.
right there.
Okay.
Tank and Shakur Stevenson. Those two fighters right there.
Do you think Tank Davis will ever fight any of those top guys in the lightweight division? We know Tank is one of them. Do you foresee him fighting a Shakur Stevenson in the future or Devin Haney in the future? Do you see that?
Not when you have Frank Martin sitting over there and other guys that he can face over at BBC.
So basically, there's a lot of people called the show yesterday, and I was giving Tank the benefit of the doubt. I was saying that I think he will fight those other top guys. A lot of people jumped down my throat for saying that, but I had time to think about it, and I saw some things that I've been hearing from Floyd Mayweather and other people, and I heard it before the people mentioned it in the chat yesterday. But what you're saying is this thing probably with Tank and Ryan Garcia was a one-off. Tank is going to go right back to staying on his side of the street. Because I want to ask you this, Tim. This is what I always say on my show. Tank is a very, very unique fighter. He's the only, I think there's not a black fighter in America that can sell, that's a draw like Tank Davis.
Right.
No black fighter in America can draw what he is. Probably most fighters in
That's
America
facts.
outside of Canelo. Tank Davis can fight this pin. I have a pin in my hand. He can fight this pin and they can announce, hey, Tank Davis is fighting this ink pen in Las Vegas, and he'll sell out that arena. And it'll do live gate records and do great numbers. I said he's the only fighter that I know that outside of Canelo, he can do that regardless of who he fight, and he's going to do really, really good at the gate. So being that someone of a Tank Davis, if you're Leonard Ellaby, if you're Al Heyman, if you're Floyd Mayweather or Tank Davis or Calvin Ford, and you know that, hey, man, we can stick him in there with this cup of water and his fans going to buy it anyways. What is the incentive for him to want to fight a Shakur Stevenson, a Devin Haney, or hell, even a Teofimo Lopez at 140? Why would he do that when he doesn't have to?
Because if he wants to be the best and be considered the best in the world and be considered top pound for pound, one of the top best pound for pound fighters in the game, and to go into the Hall of Fame, you gotta test yourself against the best. At the end of the day, this is a sport, too. I understand the business, and he's made great money, and he has a huge following. They've built him up to what he is today. Now it's time for them to work on his legacy, because if he continues to fight these type of fighters, and some guys are cool with it. Some guys just love the money. They don't care about the Hall of Fame. They don't care about what comes along with this business. At the end of the day, I'm not sure if he's that type of guy or not. But if you want to be the best, if you want to be considered one of the best of your generation, you have to fight the best in the world. Period. You can say it all you want, but until you get in the ring you're not gonna get a whole lot of respect from the hardcores. Trust me, the hardcore fans out there, they understand. You might get respect from the casuals, because a lot of the casuals, and I would say the hardcore fans tuned in to watch them fight, but you're not gonna get a whole lot of respect from the hardcore diehard fans that's been around for many years if you don't fight the best.
Do you think that Bob Arum will be willing to make those? Let's say just that opportunity was to present itself, and Shakur really wants to fight those top guys. Again, Shakur is with Top Rank. He has quite a few fighters in the lightweight division, and he can fight on that side of the street. So if the opportunity were to present itself, do you think that Bob Arum, let's flip it, would Bob Arum be willing to make a Shakur Stevenson, Lomachenko, or Devin Haney fight versus a Tank Davis? If that was
absolutely,
you think he would?
Absolutely. There's no doubt about it. I mean, it makes sense, and there's a lot of money that can be made for both parties. Absolutely, he'll make that fight happen. And and I know people will say, "Oh, you just no." Trust me, man. I've sat with Bob Arum on many occasions, and Bob, when it makes sense, when it's going to help the sport, when it's going to drive, and he knows that his guy definitely knows his guy can win the fight, the wonderful fight for his guy. He's all over it. He's all over it. That's why Bob has been in the sport a very long time, been longer than any promoter in the business, because he knows what he's doing. So yes, to answer your question, he will make the fight in a heartbeat, and Shakur Stevenson will make sure of that. Trust me, because at the end of the day, who's it boil down to, people? It boils down to the fighter. The fighter is the boss at the end of the day. Or, well, he's supposed to be.
Supposed to be the boss, yeah.
Man, I'm out of here, bro. Let's go.